the same.
No, I'm just worried.
The same style of humor is there, but like visually, it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's not as bright and bombastic.
Yeah, it's not. But it is very like obviously like making fun of itself while also being what it's making fun of.
Yeah, it never pretends to be serious.
Yeah, it's never like this is hard-hitting thriller.
Yeah, but they do light a dog on fire in the first episode.
Yeah, and then there's an episode in the fourth season where the kid runs over a bag in the street, and then you just see blood.
It's a
just start,
dog!
like, and there's like a cat in the bag or something.
Yeah, every single part of the anime has an animal getting mutilated in a horrible way, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, that's so horrible," and that's it. It's never brought up again.
Everyone in the show is always like, "That's terrible."
Yeah, you're really selling me on this.
It's a good show. It's good. I like it so far. Jared was into it. I started it at...
Yeah, I bet Jared was.
He loves those dead animals.
Oh, Jared, where'd you come from?
Oh.
So quiet. Welcome to the Target Audience Podcast. I'm Pierce. I'm here with
Ben?
TJ.
and we are talking about movies today.
We are talking about movies today. What movie are we talking about today, Pierce?
Specifically, the movie we're talking about is Overlord, which is a movie about a small group of American soldiers who find horror behind enemy lines on the eve of D-Day. So
Yes.
D-Day Eve.
Yes, D-Day Eve. This is about Operation Overlord.
You leave your milk and cookies out for the Germans.
Yep. Hitler wants his schnitzel and what's a good German beer? I don't know.
Lager.
Yeah, just a nice lager.
Lager.
For old
Lager and schnitzel for old Hitler.
Old Papa Hitler.
Old Saint Hitler.
But yeah, no, that's not really what the movie's about.
It is.
In a sense, it's very vague.
Not talking about the milk and cookies part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's no Christmas.
I don't want to mislead people, you know.
No, it's about
No, it's a very straightforward movie.
It's the Eve of D-Day.
It's a squad of Halo jumpers, high altitude, low opening.
And they're sent to do a mission to take down some towers. That way everything for D-Day goes smooth.
Communication towers, to be specific.
And then they discover that the Germans are doing some weird experiments.
Yeah, I think that's where...
Kind of the big crux when things start spiraling out of control and get... intense is a good word for it.
It is. It does get
I gotta say,
intense.
too, we really slept on this movie way longer than we should have. I remember seeing the previews for this when it first came out.
And wanting to see
really
it very
excited
badly.
for it. And people were kind of scared at first that it was going to be like a Cloverfield 3
yeah,
or something.
Like a tie-in.
And like I think it literally got to a point where they had to be like, guys, we fucking swear it's
We
not
promise.
another Cloverfield movie.
In the trailer.
Yeah, JJ had to go on record at, I think it was Sundance. He was like, it's not a Cloverfield movie.
Right.
I know I've kind of burned the brand of Bad Robot. It's not.
And even the trailer made it look like it actually did serve its purpose in giving it that kind of like, it feels like that B-movie horror feel, but it's mixed in so nicely done with like a war movie.
It's kind of like a Grindhouse movie in some ways.
It's Grindhouse, 100%.
It's like a B movie.
From the title credits on, like start to finish, it feels like a Grindhouse movie.
Yeah.
It's what it made me really. I mean, obviously, it felt like Call of Duty zombies.
Oh,
not literally, not even because it's Nazi zombies, but because it was like that overtly serious tone mixed with like goofy sci-fi, like having the big red syringes. It's like very visually distinct.
Yeah,
it like literally reminded me of like something from Call of Duty zombies, especially like Black Ops zombies.
And I think everybody
I think that's pretty fair.
And it's really cool too because everyone did such a good job at like playing it straight. Like
exactly.
This movie could have easily been derailed and way goofier and everything that, but
because it's still
there's some strong performances in this movie too. That's like and then it peppers in this crazy zombie story.
Yeah,
zombie type story.
It's definitely played for straight. It's not played for like. I mean, it's over the top, but it's not like played for laughs. It's played like the movie is just not like trying too hard to be, but like the whole movie is just very cool. Like it's playing it to be like cool, badass. Over
cool
the
is
top.
the word. This movie's just fucking.
It's
cool.
fucking cool.
Well, and to be honest, we've already kind of spoiled the big. We know what happens based off of the trailer.
They do show you in the trailer. It's not necessarily a secret.
But to be honest, you don't even really see zombies or the supernatural element until relatively late in the movie. Because it does proceed as it's like, kind of like a war movie. They drop behind enemy lines, they lose a bunch of people.
they all have
and-
they all give you character development. Like
and
there's always-
Nazis
This
are
one's the
rounding
smart
up
mouth, this one's the
are rounding up
hero.
citizens in the countryside for experiments. You know what they are, but you know
Yeah.
that the Nazis in real life did a bunch of fucked up experiments.
And
So it's
there
not
was zombies in real
necessarily
life, right?
like evil zombie super soldiers.
No,
That's not the first place you go. You go,
That's just
concentration
common
camp.
knowledge.
Yeah, but they
It's
keep
like-
doing. They do good jobs at like just gradually dropping subtle hints that
Yeah,
something
it drip
might
feeds.
not be.
Yeah,
you know,
and then
until you
what's
get to the
normally going
reveal.
on.
Also,
Right.
And then you're like, oh, fuck, everything's terrible!
I do like how they
One of my
also did the war movie archetypes.
Mm.
Like they have the innocent just from a small town trying to make it out there alive guy, which is the main
Right.
character.
The
You
one
have
guy-
the smart mouth who's like just being a dick the whole
Yeah,
time.
which
That was
The-
John Magero, I want to say his name
I've seen him in like a bunch of shit.
He's in Umbrella Academy.
You have a reporter. You have
Yeah.
a bitter hard ass that's
Yeah,
been
you
on
have
a
the
couple
hero.
tours and he's
Yeah.
seen some shit.
You
Yeah.
get all the war movie archetypes in there.
Yeah.
But in usually like if it was an actual just straightforward war movie, that'd be a very boring war movie. But with
They've
this
been by the numbers.
being
Just run of the
But
mill,
with
yeah.
this being a movie as it is, it works perfectly. As in, like it just fits. It fits with how the whole style and vibe of the movie is because
Yeah.
it does. It's obviously not a movie you take super seriously, logic wise.
It's a movie
You're not
too
looking
that,
for a super intense story where plays tricks on your mind or anything crazy like
Yeah,
that.
no.
It's very straightforward, but it's
Yeah.
good. And it's just
It's
sometimes a good,
it's an
a
interesting-
straightforward movie is
and it
just
takes
nice
this
to
fun.
watch.
It's a fun take on this historical fiction type thing, like where they just throw it in there,
Mhm.
and it's what you wish movies like Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
You know, actually, I was going to
achieve.
bring that up about historical fiction done wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Abe Lincoln, Vampires.
I'm glad we're on the same page about
This
that.
is way cooler than that movie. This is way better.
But when you saw the preview, remember when that movie came out, we're like, this could be the coolest shit ever.
It could be.
But
yeah, because it's like
yeah.
retarded, but like
It's-
cool.
but I
it's
pro-
like what every 13-year-old would be like. That would be really cool.
Mhm.
And then I kind of like that vibe,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if only this movie did well with the 13-year-old audience.
and it did. I feel like this movie was very under the radar.
Yeah, like it reviewed well enough.
It did.
And and it was commercially successful, but not by a wide margin because it was in and out of theaters.
And
Unfortunately,
it's also that type of movie too that like like if you're not into the crazy plots or the gore, it's like definitely a very
It's a niche. I
cult
can
film
see.
category.
yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
this being a cult. I can see this being a movie that has a lot more traction
I
later on.
can see
in
this
life.
making a lot of like top 100, sci-fi.
Movies you've never heard of.
Yeah,
I agree. It's
Um,
definitely one that I'm glad we finally got around to watching.
There,
Yeah.
and then some of the visuals in this movie are fucking like
Oh,
crazy.
Some of it's my favorite.
The-
Didn't you say most of it was practical too?
A lot of
It was almost entirely practical. I want to say that
There's obviously they had to, even with practical they have to do like the
Touch-ups.
CGI reshading
Right.
and all
Yeah,
that to
but
make
like,
it look more realistic. But that's always when it's the best, when it's practical and CGI together.
The evil German leader, spoilers, he ends up getting the zombie super soldier serum in him,
Mm-hmm.
and basically makes him immortal unless you destroy his whole body.
Yeah, he overdoses on
that
it. He,
was-
like, does,
Yeah,
like,
like he
four,
shoots himself like full of this super soldier serum,
like,
and
a-
his
a
face is
lot of
like
it.
blown off.
They shoot him with like a.
And that's
a
all
shotgun.
practical.
That's
like he was in
amazing.
makeup for I think like 6 hours a day.
It was,
it
and
looks
he looks
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
One
It
of my
looked
favorite
super
scenes too,
cool.
like literally, like it's just the way it's shot and everything's so chilling and everything is the big unveil as to like there's being experiments going on.
So Boyce, the lead, are kind of like green fresh soldier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he goes on an independent mission to get inside the catacombs underneath
And he ends
the
up in a
communications
he
tower.
ends up in the truck full of dead bodies
Truck.
and just sneaks in.
He sneaks
Yeah.
in, and then he kind of stumbles his way through the lab of all the horrible experiments. He finds his
But-
friend.
finds his Jewish
but
friend.
some of the
He's getting pumped full of
experiments-
weird chemicals through his like this tube in his side.
Oh, that
But
part
one of
was
my
hard to watch.
one of my favorite visuals of the whole movie though is when he like hears the lady talking and he rips it off and it's literally just a head with a spine
yeah.
attached
Yeah.
and it's still talking and it reminded me something from like Reanimator.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something
Or
like that.
Evil
Or
Dead
Return
2.
of the Living Dead,
Yes,
where
Evil
it's
Dead
like
2.
it doesn't follow zombie rules necessarily.
Uh-huh.
It's more just like the tissue is reanimated. It's not tied to one
there's
particular.
there's something
Exactly.
and at this point it was just like Nazis are bad, but then it turns into Nazis are doing some really fucking crazy shit now.
Yeah, it's not like Germans like fighting on the war front, like like the average Joe German soldier.
No,
These are like capital N,
it's crazy.
capital swastika.
And then you find out the whole,
Nazi.
you find out the
Capital
whole
N, capital swastika.
you find
like,
you find
these
out
are like super Nazis.
and then you find out that the end game's like even
Wolfenstein
worse than you
Nazis.
imagine.
an eternal
because
army
They
of
want
the dead.
Hitler's eternal army like 1,000 years from
Yeah,
now, like,
1,000
The 1,000
year
year
army
army is what they
1,000 year
call it,
reign.
yeah.
Yeah. it's even worse than you could even imagine, and that's hard to believe when you're talking about Nazis.
Yeah. It's like they had the First Reich, they had the Second Reich, they were going for a Third Reich, but this was like the Infinite Reich.
The Infinite Reich, basically.
Yeah.
But the visuals were so good.
The scene,
it was really cool.
The scene where where his soldier friend dies and he reanimates him with the serum or whatever.
So
that scene made me cringe so hard whenever it shows his head flip back and his collarbone sticking out, and then like you can see like his his
vocal cords, his trachea.
Yeah, his trachea like all like bent out of shape, and then when
his neck goes down.
Yeah, when he flicks back in, his like neck isn't like right.
They make a point of showing how
he starts screaming. Yeah, he starts screaming at him. What did you do to me? Kind of thing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
While also like lifting this guy like off the ground with one hand, not realizing like the transformation he's going.
And I like the look of the zombies in this movie. They were like super zombies.
Yeah,
and like the way the whole veins get
all like roided out,
gray and warded.
Yeah, that's something that works really well.
Zombies.
And I think just cross fiction is when you show infection of some sort by having black veins crawl up.
Yeah,
it's like all right, that's how you show that.
It separates it even further from like normal human anatomy.
And you see like muscles twisting and contorting, like cramping up. Like have you ever seen like a really bad cramp where like everything just. It's like that, but like all over their body. It's like, oh, that's
and it looks painful.
Yeah,
and the movie just had crazy visuals. There was a dope zombie versus zombie fight where it was just great. Watch it. Just watch it.
It's a good movie.
It was super cool.
Now this is just to jump right to the end of the movie and talk about huge spoilers.
Biggest spoilers.
So Wyatt Russell, who we should probably talk about, it's Kurt Russell's kid.
Kurt Russell
is the like hardened veteran soldier who's responsible for leading the mission, and it's like the mission comes above all else, regardless, and he's the one who ends up becoming the good zombie to
save the day.
To save the day,
Which was it was silly, but works in a movie.
It works in this movie, and I had an idea that I want to push. Now, sequel to this movie takes place let's say like present day ish to maybe like somewhat in the future. Whoa. And his body was recovered.
Just like how Black Ops 2 did it. Go from the past to the future. Yeah. Don't even do the present.
His body was recovered. And now he leads an elite squad of super soldiers to fight America's armies.
The 1,000-year American.
The 1,000-year commando.
The 1,000-year Iraqi war.
Yeah, oh God. He's like, God damn it, we're going to get that oil over my dead body.
But with the ending of that movie, I also like the whole... Like, they blew up the lab, and then he's like, anything important down there? And he's like, nope. Because he knows. He knows that, he's like, even if the U.S. gets their hands on... It's something that's no good. Not going to come out.
And the officer, I'm not sure if it was implied that he was like, you know what, I'm going to take this guy's word on it, or if it's not worth it. It should have just ended... Like, he's like, I'm busy, I got other shit to worry
he's more like, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
It should just ended with the little boy playing with a baseball in his glove, and then he just takes a syringe out of his pocket, and then injects himself,
Oh, he was the first Barry Bonds. That's what that kid grew up to be.
That kid later grew up to be Babe Ruth.
There's... the great Bambino.
He's just gibbering in Italian.
Zombie.
Spaghetti, Papa John's, baseball. You can't see my hand gesture. It's like 60% of the impression.
Most of the impressions the hand gesture. But I would, honestly...
Can you describe that hand gesture?
Everybody knows the Italian hand gesture.
Everyone knows it.
It was a meme.
Exactly.
It was a thing.
Mm-hmm. Please stop throwing it at me. I feel intimidated right now.
Anyway, I think this movie would be cool as a sequel if they did it right, they would have to up the ante. They would have to just be even crazier than the first one.
They don't need to. I'm okay with never seeing anything else related to this.
No, I'm okay with it not being a sequel, but if it were to be a sequel, it wouldn't be a movie that I'd be like, oh, this movie was fine by its own.
I think it's only downhill from here.
Really? I feel like
turns out they're not zombies. They're actually aliens. It's Cloverfield.
Overlord 2. Turns out it was...
The Nazis found a crashed spaceship. They grabbed some black goo off it, like in Prometheus, and then they created super soldier serum based off of it.
So, Overlord 2 is actually Cloverfield 3.
Okay, but now I just want zombie movie for each war. I want a revolutionary zombie movie. I want a Vietnam War zombie movie.
You can do it, but
those would be very cool movies.
See, the thing is, though, it's like this works because Nazis committed a lot of horrible crimes against humanity.
It's a
Vietnam War didn't really do that. We committed a couple.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Maybe it could be turned around. Maybe it could be we have the syringes and we're injecting Those dang Viet Congs.
I think we're trying to distance ourselves as being the bad guys in Vietnam.
I don't know. I would make
because there's still one of those things where it's still kind of a touchy subject for a lot of people.
I think it would be cool to see zombies in different time periods, I guess, in different points of history.
Not necessarily zombies, though. I just like to see, like, it's just cool to see different, like, crazy horror in different
what if it's just what if it becomes like an anthology series of movies where it's just
doesn't have to be zombies,
where it's each war, but then it's something terrifying and either supernatural or something just terrifying.
Oh, on the Eastern Front, the Nazis were trying to turn soldiers into vampires so that they could fight in the harsh Russian winters.
I like that.
Because it's dark.
There's we could do...
It'd be 30 Days of Night, but 30 Days of Reich.
30 Days of Reich. 30 Days of Nine.
It crosses over in that universe. It's just everything is shared.
30 Days of Nine.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, man.
But...
Okay, but with the Vietnamese one, you can be weird jungle virus turns people into zombies.
It's just, no, we turn our people into predators. And we're just running around in Vietnam, just like, ripping out Viet Cong spines.
A predator in a predator movie that takes place in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. It's about a single predator.
I think you just have you seen the original Predator?
That wasn't during Vietnam. I thought that was supposed to take place in the 80s.
It's like right around.
It's like right after Vietnam.
But what I'm saying is like the Predator is a part of the Vietnam War.
Just like he's
lone predator in Vietnam, and he's not on either side. So he's just taking out American soldiers and Viet Cong.
Or you just do like
is Viet Cong a racial slur?
No.
Or is that just that's what they actually
it is
call
now
it, right?
that you had to ask.
Well, no, that's like no. If you refer to a Vietnamese person, it's like, hey, yo, look at that Viet Cong. No.
No, I was talking about like if you're talking about the war, because I've ever only heard like old white guys say Viet Cong.
The Viet Cong
so that kind of led me to
the Vietnamese forces. Just like saying it's like a German.
Or if you were gonna do it like this, you do like a normal like Vietnam War movie, but then out of nowhere there's a Bigfoot-like creature that just starts mauling everybody, and therefore both sides have to team up to fight this monster.
See,
that'd be cool as shit.
You need to watch The Man Who Killed Hitler and then Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's going in that direction.
I don't think it goes in that direction. I think
it does.
I thought it was like
where both sides have to team up and fight for the greater good of defeating a monster and surviving another night.
It's a movie where a guy is an American hero, and then he's like, I need the money. I'll kill Bigfoot.
I don't think... No. He gets, like, enlisted by the government to hunt down Bigfoot.
Okay, so
it's like killing people, I think.
So it's like a confirmed real Bigfoot. I thought it was more like a quirky comedy where it's like...
No.
I'm going to kill Bigfoot because...
this movie's like an action movie.
And then it turns out Bigfoot's real.
No, it's not that kind of movie at all.
Oh, it's like, I know... in this universe, Bigfoot is...
This movie's played straight. We know a man killed Hitler, and we also know there's a Bigfoot.
Wow.
Okay, no, I need to watch it. I know it's
on my list. It comes out soon.
Sam Neill's in it, right?
Not Sam.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Yeah.
Same fucking person.
Old man with a mustache.
Not the same person.
Angry old man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Sam Elliott's really only angry in that Netflix show, The Ranch.
My grandpa.
Have you seen The Ranch?
My grandpa was telling me about The Ranch today when I was setting up Netflix for him.
It's not a good show. It's not fun.
I didn't have the heart to fight my grandpa on that.
Yeah, don't tell your grandpa that. You let your grandpa have those kind of things.
Yeah.
Where you just like watch that 70s show. It's better.
It's literally.
I don't think my grandpa would appreciate that 70s show.
I mean, he was alive during the 70s. I feel like
that is true.
People alive during the 70s would appreciate it because it's like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Nostalgia gets everyone.
I suppose.
You should turn
my grandpa also loves shoving his boot up my dad's ass, so maybe he'll find common ground with Red Foreman.
I don't know. I feel like you could get your grandpa into that 70s show.
You should just bond with him next time you're over.
just put it on.
Just put it on.
All right.
Watch the series up to like when Eric Foreman leaves.
So since we're giving advice on that, for the one person who's like, I was thinking about watching that 70s show.
Yeah, sorry, spoiler alert.
Let's drop the ball around season 7. Good to know.
I don't know what season specifically, but not only that too. What do you mean, like the one person deciding to watch it? That 70s show is one of those shows that's like always on TV, even if you don't want it to be. Like you could flip channels and find it. It's probably on like
TV
now
until we die.
Yeah.
It'll be playing on fucking...
I love the thumbnail.
It'll be left at the end of season 7. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. You were right. Yeah. You're right.
It'll be playing on TV Land until we're like 70.
Yeah, pretty much. That TV show is gonna be in syndication forever. I think
it is. That's
just
what
like Seinfeld.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
As
How
we
I Met Your
speak,
Mother, Big Bang Theory is gonna never die.
everything you just named, I guarantee you, if we turned on a TV just with like basic
One
channels,
of those
probably
TV shows
on.
are playing
Friends.
right now. At least, no, I can say 2 of those TV shows are playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so watch Overlord.
Yeah, watch Overlord.
Sorry that my can popped.
I was tempted to slap it out of your hand.
I
But that's a joke that doesn't play on radio.
I wasn't playing with
It
it.
doesn't really work. All you hear is, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I wasn't playing with it though.
Once I move
can
into
just
my
popped.
house, I'm gonna probably set up a camera.
All right.
Yeah.
Get the visual element in.
Yeah.
I have a really nice camera.
Hey, let's try it.
Yeah. And then I can play that joke.
You can set it up in a corner of a
Just
room.
slap it out of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Set it up in a corner of a room so it looks like we're test subjects.
Just really voyeuristic. Just like
No,
Set it
dude.
up outside of,
Like
set
that
it up
scene.
outside
Set it
of
out
a
the window.
Outside a
like
window.
that scene in El Royale. Like just have like
Yeah.
a thing of like a.
there we go.
We should just like every podcast. We should just put the camera in a very weird.
I'll hide it.
Spot.
You guys won't know where to look.
So
One day I'm gonna put it
it's
under the table, like looking at our feet.
yeah, one day it'll be like under someone's chair, like you just see it.
One day Ben's gonna just dub the audio of the podcast over like just footage of like what's in his bathroom.
You're just gonna.
Just 2 hours of a looped video of him brushing his teeth.
No, I brush my teeth for 2 hours. I just start bleeding like 10 minutes in. It just gets really worse and worse. Just
It's like
that's horrible.
It's like
can you imagine someone across that on YouTube at like 2 a.m, someone brushing their teeth
It's
for
like
2
the
hours
Poltergeist.
after it's gotten too bad,
2 hours later after it being bad.
and have the cameras dim by like 1% every 5 minutes. It just
Oh my
gets
gosh.
darker and darker. Lighting from the bottom, so it just looks horrifying.
Have him do it with like a dry toothbrush.
Well, eventually it would get dry.
Yeah, true.
It's true. You started wet. So
Yeah,
it's
start
like-
off as best as you can. Start off normal, and then just.
It's
work
all
your
about
way.
Right, but
it's
he
all
also-
about the gradual.
But he also doesn't like spit too, so it's constantly just like foaming down.
Oh, I do that all the time. I brush my teeth with my mouth open. I look like I have rabies before I get in the shower.
Well, that's why I like brushing my teeth in the shower because it doesn't matter if like the toothpaste gets everywhere because you're in a shower.
Yeah, usually like Ben's just
Where do you
like
put the
making...
toothbrush down when you're done? Do you
Like,
reach
I-
out of your shower?
No, I have a caddy.
Oh, so yeah, you're prepared.
Ben's usually brushing his teeth, making faces in the mirror like he has rabies, and then he's just like, "I'm Cujo," and then everyone's like, "Ben, get the fuck out the bathroom."
Sometimes I sit while brushing my teeth and I'll like play on my phone.
Yeah.
But I've gotten toothpaste on my toilet seat enough times that it looks like it's cum. I look down, I'm like, I gotta remember to take care of that.
I gotta clean that up.
Yeah, when Ben.
All right, so watch Overlord.
Again, watch
Yeah,
Overlord.
when Ben lived with me, I'd find this on the toilet seat all the time, and I'd be like,
Toothpaste or cum?
"Oh, thank God, it's only toothpaste."
I really took a 50-50 chance there.
Ben, you've been eating a lot of zinc.